It was a moonless night. I was driving along a winding motorway surrounded by woodland after a long day's work. The cold, dim lighting of the road and the sparse passing cars made the journey even more secluded. Suddenly, a bright light flashed in my rearview mirrors. Someone had stopped directly behind my car, and every time I changed lanes or tried to accelerate, he stayed behind, as if he was following me. My heart was pounding, so I decided to stop at the nearest petrol station, hoping the stalker would pass me by. But as I turned into the car park, he stopped behind me too. There was silence. Gradually, I felt a damp chill creep into the car. The attendant was busy with another car that was following me. Suddenly, the man who had been following me got out of his car and walked towards me. My heart was pounding, and I almost lost my breath. He tapped on the glass. I let it down, preparing for the worst. He spoke in a threatening tone.
"Don't move. You have a man with a knife in the back seat."
I felt as if time had slowed down. I couldn't move out of fear. Suddenly I heard a sound, distorted by the adrenaline in my ears. It was the petrol station attendant. While I was talking to my stalker, he approached my car with a gun in his hand and ordered the man in the back seat to get out. A man came out with a shiny knife in his hand. The stalker quickly explained that he had seen the man get into my car in the car park outside my office. He decided to follow me to give me some kind of warning, but he was afraid that the sudden message might cause panic and I might be involved in an accident. The police arrived quickly and arrested the uninvited passenger. The stalker turned out to be a bystander who decided to act and save my life. The stalker turned out to be a bystander who decided to act and save my life. That night I realized that sometimes danger can come from anywhere, but there are also people who are willing to come to your aid, even if you don't know them. I had always loved my job as a cleaner in a large office building. The floors were shiny, the glass was sparkling clean, and the carpets looked like new. But in the last few weeks, something started to change. Every night when I finished cleaning, I noticed strange marks on the glass in one of the offices. They were unusual, like the marks of a hand with 3 fingers. I tried to wipe them off, but they kept reappearing. At first I thought it was just a joke among my colleagues, but none of them came to work that late. I started to get worried. The fingerprints were becoming more and more visible, not only on the windows but also on the bathroom mirrors and the lift doors. One night, as I was trying to erase the marks again, the lights in the building suddenly went out. I felt an instant of fear. A few seconds later, the emergency lights came on and I saw something inhuman. A creature with 3-fingered hands was standing at the window, looking straight at me. My heart was pounding and I felt an icy terror. The creature approached me slowly, leaving footprints on the floor. Instinctively, I ran for the exit to get my keys. But that's when I heard a familiar voice, the voice of a security guard asking me if everything was all right. He turned on the main lights and there was no sign of the creature in the room. However, the handprints were still on the glass. The guard said that he had seen the creature before, and that it was the ghost of a former employee who had lost his hand in an accident in a factory that had been on this site before the office building was built. That night, I decided to quit my job. But every time I see the marks on the glass, I am reminded of that night. I think about how the past can catch up with us, even when we try to escape it.
Before I found Lisa on a popular dating app, I saw her in a dream. That dreamy gaze, the lush hair. But when I moved to the big city and installed this app, the same girl from my dream appeared on my phone's screen. Her name was Lisa. We spent months corresponding, sharing secrets and dreams. When I suggested meeting up, Lisa agreed. We decided to meet in a small, cozy cafe. On the date, she was even more beautiful than in the photos. But as the evening went on, her behavior became increasingly odd. When her phone rang, she clenched it and angrily slammed it on the table. Lisa took out an antique necklace with a mysterious pendant from her bag. She said it was a gift from her friend, and that this pendant keeps them together. I felt something was wrong. During our conversation, Lisa would laugh at inappropriate times and suddenly freeze, staring into space. She would tell stories that didn't make sense and would suddenly start whispering, as if talking to someone next to her, even though it was just the two of us. A feeling of déjà vu and unease filled me, and I grew concerned for my safety. During one such moment, when her gaze was especially distant, I decided I couldn't stay any longer. Pretending I needed to use the restroom, I quickly left the cafe, leaving Lisa alone. The next day I started receiving messages with pictures of my house, my car. Each message was signed, "We are watching you." One morning, I found dead birds on my doorstep. Coming to work, I saw Lisa standing across the street, intently looking at me. I decided to turn to the police. They started an investigation and soon found out that Lisa was a patient of a psychiatric clinic. Lisa was the name of her pendant, and her real name remained a mystery. When the police arrested Lisa, she screamed that all this was for me, to protect me from whom or what, I never found out. Months passed, but the memories remained. Walking around the city, I saw an advertisement for a new dating app. It featured Lisa with her smile and the mysterious pendant. The caption read, "It's time for a new meeting." My heart stopped. See more of our stories